Alright, good morning. This is Angel with Ruderman here at 75 Middlesex Turnpike at the Van store in Burlington. Going to be doing a video pipe inspection with the main sewer line. These folks have had backups, at least 4 in the past 2 weeks. Myself and technician Andy have been out to clear out the main every time it has backed up. Myself, I've cleared it within 10-15 feet. Andy has cleared it within 10-15 feet. The last 2 times I've snaked this line out. I managed to get my cable stuck. I was able to get it unstuck, but alright, we are in the restroom that has the mop sink. Pull the toilet. Here's the toilet suite. So now that we're in the bottom of the line here, I'm just going to zero out the distance counter so we have an accurate measurement. You can see water sitting in the line. Alright, looks like it's going towards the door. Immediately looks like it's picking up a line from the right, potentially from the restroom that's to the right of myself. Now we're going towards, I'd say, like the manager desk area. I believe this line here on the left-hand side, that might be the mop sink. So I'll run the water real quick just to see if the flow picks up. All right, just ran a little bit of water. We should see some kind of movement in the water here briefly. All right, let's run the sink. Alright, so with the mop sink running, I get no movement whatsoever, so whatever this tie-in is, it's going to be on me at this point. I'm just going to continue down. This is kind of going towards like where the managers sit, where the shoes are stored. You can see the line is now roughly at least half full, and it looks like we're coming up to a soft paper blockage up ahead here. See, like this line was already getting ready to back up already after this. Let's see if we can move it with the camera. I gotta get rid of this paper so we can kind of see what's going on with the line. down the water. Hopefully things clear up. I pulled it back to that 7-foot mark, right around the area where toilet paper is holding. So we got a 45 here, a 20-degree turn here. And now it looks like it's 90ing. And the direction of this line implies that it's kind of heading towards the front of the store now. Now we're coming up at another turn, 9.5 feet. So picking up a branch line here. This is the area where we usually clear it within 10 to 15 feet. The water flow we're getting now is probably from the mop sink that I'm running. Alright, shutting off the water flow from the mop sink. There was a big paper. I'm going to pull back and locate, try to trace this line out more or less, know exactly where the line is. I'm going to locate this area here. So 7 feet in, the pipe is literally a foot in front of the hand sink in the same restroom that I'm currently working out of, heading towards the manager's desk area. now we're turning right at 7.5 feet. Turning right again at 8.5 feet. I'm gonna go locate this spot here. Alright, still in the same restroom, closer to the mop sink. I'm going to run the mop sink. Alright, the mop sink is running. I'm hoping to see some water flow either from behind the camera or front. Seeing that the line is currently empty, you should be able to see something. I'll just push forward. So there's the mop sink running. So after that turn, this is kind of the area where everything's getting hung up on. So there should be a line here. Looks like there's definitely multiple lines tied into this line here. So a line coming in from the right. Set up the mop sink. Okay, so the line on the right is the mop sink line. So it looks like the mop sink line runs over the main branch and then drops in. So the line on the right at 9.5 feet, that's the mop sink line. I'm gonna locate that real quick. Alright, so we located this right outside the restroom on the other side. It's pretty much right next to the desk where the manager sits. So once again, this line turns and it's cut out in the concrete that can kind of show where this line is. This is kind of coinciding with the cutout that's out there. See if I can locate this area. I don't want to get towards the area where the sneakers are all stored on the shelf. so this is definitely under the cutout area by the manager desk back here outside the restrooms. I'm just going to keep going. I mean, that problematic area was at that 10-foot mark. Even with trying to get the camera through, it was very complex. Keep going here. Looks like there might be a clean out there at 20 feet. So just for perspective's sake, this line is heading towards the storage shelves where they have the moving shelves for the sneakers. And then we come up to a wall. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be taking a turn. Here's that turn. That was 36 feet. Looks like 45 to the right. I believe there's a beauty salon on the opposite side of that wall. Here's the drop off. We're going to call that 40 feet. It's too many turns of this line to actually get to that drop point there. But if you look straight across, you can see an incoming line which kind of like dumps off into the pipe there. So imagine this intersection here being like the letter T for Thomas. Either side, the one I'm in and the one across, get to the center section here that's in front of the camera, and it just 90s. It just drops off like dropping off a cliff. All right, so we're going to pull back and end our video inspection. Call that 34, 36. I'm just stopping the camera ever so slightly to just make a quick sketch. So I can provide a photo sketch of sorts. Like 19 feet, there's a clean out. It's buried in the concrete. All right, so 10.5 feet, there's the, that's the timing for the mop sink. So I'm gonna run the mop sink real quick so you guys can see. All right. area section slow to kind of gauge the turn in the line here. That was a nice loop-de-loop there. I'm running the sink right now. Just trying to verify if the water's coming from behind the camera or from this line on the left. I don't know what it is. This thing's shaped like a giant S. I think that's a sink tie-in up ahead up above us. See if we see water. Yep, that's the sink. So like I said, the line goes towards the sink and then it kind of does a loop-de-loop around the mop sink. Distance-wise, where the was that was right here, 6.5 feet. There's also a line here on the left, which nothing in this restroom ties into. So here's there's another tie-in there. That concludes this video inspection. Stop the video here. Thanks for choosing Ruderman. Have yourself a great day.